Hey there, it's all of us. What's going on?
Hey
We're
there,
all
hi
on
there,
the
ho
screen.
there.
What's up to another episode of Intermission? I am Marcus Griffin. You know where to find me, Facebook, Marcus Griffin. And I got the three amigos, the three stooges,
We're back.
Yes,
the
we
Holy
are.
Trinity. I got Mr. Howard.
What's up, everybody? You guys can find me at Howard_Jerome on Instagram and Howard_Jerome on Facebook. I think that's right for Facebook.
Yeah.
Sure on Instagram.
Never get on Instagram for me. You heard about Instagram getting rid of likes? Did y'all hear about that?
Showing you the number of likes.
Oh, well,
Yeah. It'll
before
show-
we go on to that, we also got Mr. Ziggy in the house.
Sup. You can find me on Instagram at Ziggy the Lionhearted. Y'all got excuse me. I'm trying to get. We got a new format going here, so we're all trying to share. Make sure y'all caught up because we're live this whole episode.
Oh, shit, we are.
Oh, yeah, we
Yeah.
live all the whole
Oh, wow.
episode.
If you have not seen Endgame or the Battle of Winterfell,
Bye.
Leave.
See ya. Spoilers.
we
It's
are-
hot.
Yeah, we're
I should
talking.
have got more cookies.
Oh yeah, by the way, make sure you like this page. Our page is now Intermission Pod on Facebook, as well as following us on Instagram at Intermission Podcast, where you can catch on all the good stuff we got going on, as well as find us on all social media
All the
platforms.
jokes, all the memes, all the updated content. Everything.
Oh, let me take it down. Let me take it down to a serious tone right quick. So we heard earlier that John Singleton had passed away. Well, not earlier. I think it was yesterday he passed away. I
Yeah,
want to
yesterday.
say
Yeah.
he had a
Well,
stroke.
Stroke last
when
his,
it took
his
him.
family took him off life support because he just after that stroke he did not recover.
Man, this reminds me of when we lost Luther Vandross and he had a stroke and he just never was the same. But it's sad that we lose another, I want to say, pillar of the community. One that was influential into a lot of the mediums on introducing a lot of these characters that we weren't knew nothing about, from Taraji P. Henson to Tyrese to going to Ice Cube
Yeah,
or
they gave
dialing
Ice
back
Cube
to
his
Tupac.
shot, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
it's sad
he
to see him
definitely
go.
is somebody who helped coach Tupac with his acting and everything too.
Yeah.
So gave it some of our best
Yeah,
movies:
'cause-
Boys in the Hood, Baby Boy,
Because
Four Brothers.
Poetic Justice Tupac is way better than Juice Tupac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way better than Juice
Yeah.
Tupac. But on that note, I want to see some of y'all favorite films from. I don't know if you have a favorite film, because Too Fast, Too Furious is trash, and that was one of his. And Abduction, those were. I like to get those bad films out the way. But do you have one that highlighted that stood out?
I'd probably go Baby Boy or Four Brothers.
I love Four Brothers.
Yeah.
I think that movie
It's
gets
supposed to be
over.
having a sequel coming out actually.
Man, when did that movie come out?
Early 2000s.
Yeah.
Early 2000s.
Damn, why do you got a sequel coming? What's up with all these late sequels?
Who knows? Hollywood's bored. Can't think of nothing.
But yeah,
Trying to
man, it's sad.
capitalize on
It's
lack
sad
of
to see.
content.
It's sad to see somebody go so young, because he's only 51. I mean, just put that in perspective. Like, Jesus, that's
Right.
like another 21 years for me. I'm like, ooh,
Yo,
God.
Larry King had a heart attack yesterday.
Yeah.
Or the day before yesterday.
another sad one.
Peebo Bryson, the singer.
Man, it's like people are leaving. You better get your house in order. But
But luckily, Larry King's actually he's
pretty-
fine right
Yeah,
now.
and
yeah.
Peebo's expected to make a full recovery.
I thought you were saying that because he's kind of old. He's like, well, if he goes, he's kind of old. He lived a good life.
No, he,
I thought
he
you were going
legitimately had a heart attack, and he's fine now.
Oh, that's good. He's fine.
I would
That's
not
good.
joke about somebody
That is-
having a heart attack.
But
I'm not that cruel.
yeah, my two John Singletons, Higher Learning
Okay, that was a good one.
and Hustle and Flow. He was
Oh.
executive producer. of that.
Ooh, wait, so did he also write that one too?
No,
No,
he
he
didn't
was
write it.
executive
I know that was
producer.
one of the biggest things, that he was also like not only a producer and director, but he actually wrote a lot
Well,
of these.
yeah,
like,
he
Ba-
did.
like Baby Boy, he wrote the whole script for that.
I personally, one of mine is just Snowfall, because he's an executive producer, creator, and he did a few of the episodes. I really enjoy him, and I think he is a great talent that will be lost. I mean, has been lost and will be missed. And
Yeah.
with that out the way, let's get into these spoilers. Y'all ready? Which
You just
one?
want to jump in it?
Yeah, we jumping
Y'all don't
straight
want-
in there.
y'all don't want to talk about anything lighter first?
There's nothing
Oh,
lighter
shit.
going on.
What else is lighter?
There's nothing lighter going
All right,
on.
well, let me go ahead and say this because I just learned this, and I think
Oh,
this is
okay.
crazy.
Well, then go for it.
Walmart has the new streaming. They're throwing their hat in the bag now with streaming services.
Okay.
So the kicker, though, is that it's not subscribable. Like, all their content's free, and you get to buy things from the ads, like in show. So they're coming up with their own original content. They've got a show set to release in June, I think. It's Mr. Mom, some remake of like 1960s show. They've got a buddy cop show coming out, or not a buddy cop, like a CSI type cop show coming out, and then one other some sci-fi show. But
Okay, well, we need Target to get their shit popping.
Well-
Burger King about to come out with the King having his own little series going on.
I think with Walmart though is that they're kind of highlighting the fact that there's so much money in ad revenue that's coming in. They're just like, screw it, man. We're just gonna sell you a bunch of products doing the show and let people advertise, and you guys get all the content for free. I mean, me personally, I'm probably not gonna watch anything on there, but
I'm not trying to check what Walmart got going on. I don't even like going there for groceries. I don't like going there to talk to people. I mean, they always got lines. I'm just like, shit, why are there so many people in Walmart?
Well, then you might want to watch this then, because you can buy your shit from the TV show and they just deliver it. They got their own delivery
service.
service.
That's a new type of lazy. Man, I'm already fat. And I'm going to be even more fat, like being that lazy. But we're going to, I got a bunch of people tuning in now. We're going to do spoilers for Endgame and Game of Thrones. If you haven't watched it, get your ass out. Go watch both of those. Contribute to that fun and that viewership. But I want to talk about Endgame first. Phenomenal film. Phenomenal film.
Well, so no one disagrees though that this was probably the best one. Once again, spoilers.
Oh yeah, I think it is the best Marvel. One of the best Marvel.
Jarvis disagrees, of course.
Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier of all.
Winter Soldier still.
Winter Soldier is Cap.
I'll give you that one.
And I actually give Infinity War a little bit edge over it.
Better story wise.
How many times have you seen the game so far though?
3.
Damn. Okay, I've only seen it once. I saw it for the first time yesterday.
We should have switched spots.
I
saw it twice, so I should have got over there. You
I've
should
been
have
in New Orleans all weekend, man. You know.
Okay, I'd rather get turned up instead of watching Endgame.
I'm getting it, dude. Had to go see my family.
Yeah, man. It looked like a good time though, man.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
But
Endgame was wild.
Like I
Endgame was
said,
dope.
once you see it the second time, you'll understand why.
Well, okay, so I will say this. There are definitely parts on there that I kind of were like, man, like the ending with Cap, and I think that we should take this like chronologically in this instead of just jumping to the end. But there are
let's
some
take it
things
chronologically.
that
Let's start from the beginning. Let's do some. So when it, how did you feel when it started? Like, or like, did you like how it picked up from the last movie? Basically, if you watch Infinity War and then you go into this film, did you like how it picked up with the whole Hawkeye introduction of his family?
I thought that was cool.
I thought that was good.
That was dope.
Since we didn't see Hawkeye in Infinity War,
we assumed that something was going to happen. I'm glad that they showed it.
And Hawkeye's one of those characters too, where it's like it's kind of hard to be emotionally attached to him. So us seeing him and his family element on his farm with
that
his
becomes
kid,
the emotional.
Yeah, and then actually hearing them drop the name Hawkeye for the first time in the whole entire thing.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, the only time they ever even made mention of that was in one of the Thor movies when they're
the
like,
guy.
No, they call him the Hawk.
Oh,
like,
the Hawk up there.
The Hawk
that
up
was
there.
so corny. I hated that on
yeah.
Avengers. He's like, oh, the Hawk in this nest.
Yeah, some shit like that. But they leave it to Thor to have that corny ass line. But I thought that was cool. And then for him to just turn around for a second, give us some pearls of wisdom,
it felt
and then
real.
all of a sudden, boom, gone.
It felt real. I thought it felt really real as like him turning around. It felt natural. Him talking to his wife. He turned around. He's like, "Where his daughter's name is Kate? Kate? Yeah. I think that is. I could have been just plugging in the name.
She's forever Hawkeye in my memory.
What I loved about the intro was Hawkeye is never like I don't think he never deserved his own movie, but he's a great supporting character.
I'll give you that.
I would want him in the movie somehow, some way. And I think this helped it. It really did. It showed you some of the gravity that not just the heroes dealt with, like people who have families. It was like,
and you can kind of feel why he became Ronin from that,
right.
Even though like. And we were talking about this earlier. I know we're going to get into it here. Like, there's not much character development in these side characters that make you feel emotionally attached to them, and you can tell the difference between the writers and the directors. Like Russo brothers are really good at having you like feel for the characters,
putting layers.
And Hawkeye never had that. So this gave us like that big of an because you don't even expect it to come in like that because they don't show you the Endgame logo. There's no title.
It just comes straight into it. And you're like, okay,
shooting arrows.
And I like it that it set the tone. Like once again, because if you've been watching the show, we've been talking about a lot of movie intros and how it brings and sets the tempo, and it's really set the tempo for a very dire situation. And then when it goes straight up there to Iron Man and what's her name, Nebula, just playing, a little bit football, old school day.
Yeah.
Once again, I think it will never be said enough of how great Robert Downey's performances through all of these movies holds weight. You feel everything. It's like you see his acting skills above everybody else whenever he's on screen. And his emotional, talk with his, he was recording the message to send the Pepper Pots and giving them the goodbye and just seeing how his body just wither away and how he just became so frail. I mean, I was feeling a little moody in there.
He's actually the only reason why I even care about Pepper Potts is because
I agree.
How much he sold that whole relationship with him. Like,
he did.
It's pretty incredible and a testament to that. But it's also, I think, at the same time, a testament once again to the Russos and their directing because holy shit, the other Iron Mans, like even though Robert Downey Jr. was good in those, you don't have that same kind of emotional feel to him, especially when you start going like second and third Iron Man, where it's just like, all right, these are trash now.
I think we got the layers of Iron Man when he was in Civil War, Russo brothers, as well as when he was in Infinity War and his little minor cameo in Spider-Man. You got
even in with Age of Ultron too. You start kind of diving into his perspective on what.
How dare you
wants.
give Josh Whedon credit for anything?
You know, I'm not giving him credit for that. I'm giving Robert Downey Jr. credit for that because he did something with a kind of a shitty script. So
well, shitty script, and I'll tell anyone this: as much as I dislike the result of Age of Ultron, I love James Spader as Ultron. His voice was great. He played a good Ultron.
His voice is cool.
I don't think Whedon could ever establish control or direction with that movie the way Russo's did with Civil War, Winter Soldier, and Infinity and Endgame. Like,
so out of all the Marvel movies, who do you think was the weakest director?
Oh, the one that directed Thor: The Dark World.
Shane Black. He did Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3.
You know what?
Yep.
I watched Iron Man 3 the other day, and I think that movie, up to the part where they blow up his house, that's when it falls off to me. But there was some good stuff going on.
It falls apart to me when they reveal the Manchurian was a fucking actor. I was like, what?
Right. Trevor, when his name Trevor or some shit like that?
Yeah, y'all been building this whole thing up for that.
But keep going on with
oh my God.
We get to the point, they go and they find Thanos.
Oh no, you skipped over Captain Marvel. She pulls up. She grabs the shit.
What's that got to do with Black Widow and Captain America?
And you missed a great. And you missed that great.
Well, I'm trying to keep it condensed because we only got so long.
We got an hour, but guess what? We got no ads to take away the time, so we are popping in here.
But that, I mean, and we'd be remiss for skipping the Black Widow part at least, because we're starting to see her actually develop into this character who puts emotion into the people that she's around. Because we know she's a cold assassin,
right?
Had all these mutilations done to her, that she can't even ever have a family. Committed all these atrocities, in her words, to make her think that she's not worthy of even having a family. To go and seeing her being the one who's actually in control and in the command center of trying to make sure that everything doesn't fall apart. So I was like, that was something else. I think they designed it on purpose because of later on in the movie we see what happens between her and Hawkeye.
And this arc that the Russos again been doing since for Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
we got more invested with Black Widow and Winter Soldier. I like what Grandfather Clock said though about worst directors. The duo that directed Captain Marvel.
Oh, I can believe it, but I haven't seen Captain Marvel, so I can't speak on that.
I wasn't really that mad at Captain Marvel.
But hey, this is an Endgame spoiler. We're talking about Endgame. So, okay, if you want to fast forward, Robert Downey Jr. had a great performance between him and Cap, and him just letting Cap know, like, hey, guess what? A good call. Movie was golden with callbacks to the old movies. And it was just like great nods of him talking about the internal struggle. Like, yo, I wanted to protect the Earth. I wanted to have the robots to protect this Earth and for the threats that are coming. So I love that interaction. So we fast forward. Were you shocked to see Thanos get off real quick?
Bro, seeing Thor lose fucking control like that?
I was shocked because I didn't see it coming.
Man. And I loved it, though, because Thor is always, like I say, we never
took a powerful Avenger.
He always reminds you every time.
We never took him seriously. And then, Ragnarok came. We enjoyed him more. Mm-hmm. But I love what Infinity War did because they gave him blame. They gave him hurt.
Mm-hmm. More depth, yep.
It's funny, though, because Endgame actually draws a parallel now between him and Quill, because he also did something with Thanos now that was completely off the rails before they can get more information out of him that could have potentially cost them success in their ultimate mission.
I won't get too mad at Thor because it was like Thanos, he was done.
Two, you gotta remember, he still blames himself for the snap.
Yeah, because he should have went for the head.
Right.
Should have went for the head. He's fresh off that.
I went for the head. That shit was hilarious.
I like that. I like the one. So it sets the mood once again. We 5 years later. I thought that was a shocking thing that they jumped so far ahead in time. I was like, I knew there was going to be a little leap, but I didn't think it was going to be 5 years. So it was interesting to see Cap. He's doing his little PSA tour and talking to people who going through the traumatic experience. But one thing that jumped out to me, and I don't know if it jumped out to y'all, is just seeing that nobody was more well off 5 years later. That it was still a dystopian type of field that was going on. It was just like, that was a theme that I think that I would wish they would have played with more. I love that they played with it. People didn't get over the 5 thing, and even
the
Thanos.
fact that they knew that Thanos had did it. That's the other thing. I
Well,
don't think people like.
But it's not just him. But it's not even just.
No. But I'm saying that regular people knew Thanos was the cause of this because at the end of the Infinity Wars, nobody knew what the hell was going on, and they kind of there was and one of them I saw something that there was like people didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah,
But
when at
this
the
they
end of Infinity War.
But they
yeah.
actually said that Thanos did it. He was like, "Yeah, I wish Thanos would have whatever the
Killed
fuck he
us
said."
off. Yeah, when he was like, he said
I was
Thanos
just
should have
like,
killed
that's-
all of us.
But that's crazy though.
But that's
they are aware of
and
that.
that is
now.
great.
They're normal human beings.
Because Thanos remembers that later on, because he talks about that later on about in the end of the film.
Mm-hmm.
Not to talk too much about it, of him just bringing out the fact that you weren't happy and
No, I'm
grateful that I
Yeah.
offed half the what you call
damn
it.
God
He's like,
complex.
you happen to keep remembering these old people. That is the curse that you have.
Right.
So yeah, I thought that was pretty dope that they explored that and they had a little interchange.
It was. Lane Fox brings up something that's probably one of our next points.
That's too far in the future.
No, it's not. It's like right there.
Yeah,
Well,
they've already hinted at through Endgame. It's actually coming up next. That Hulk.
Okay, we'll
and
go
Bruce
for it.
Banner.
Yeah, like.
I mean, did y'all want to skip over just
Af-
Ant-Man,
We can come back to
conveniently run, Master Splinter just going across the dashboard of the van, and here comes
14 million outcomes.
and
we
that's
just
the
needed
one that saves you.
We
a
just
rat,
needed one.
a rat
14
going across
million.
the. But you know what? If you read Marvel comics, it was always weird shit like that happen. Like, oh well, guess what? It just happened to be that shit happened.
Right.
So I thought it was pretty cool seeing Ant-Man come pop back and him just being immersed back in the world. Like, oh shit,
It was crazy for him to see his daughter.
his daughter. Oh yeah,
grown
that
up.
was crazy. Just to see how old she was.
What movie does she play on? She plays on another movie.
Who knows?
No, but it was like
The
a pop.
actress, yeah, I can't
It was a
remember.
popular. I'm gonna have to find this
Well,
out
look
later.
it
I
up
didn't-
on your nice cellular phone there.
My phone's not nice anymore.
But let's move on to Professor Hulk then.
Ooh.
That wasn't shocking to me.
It wasn't shocking. I wish we could have saw more of how it happened. The process of him, of Banner and Hulk becoming one.
So there was this throwaway line from Ragnarok that hinted at something happening with Hulk when he was saying, "Oh yeah, time on this planet runs completely different." Like he said, anywhere else, it was like the what's his name, the
Grandmaster.
Grand Master was saying, "I'd be a million years somewhere else."
Right.
It's a
and
car.
then that whole thing with Loki only being a few seconds ahead of Thor, but then being there 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That means that that Hulk had been there for like several 100,000 years.
Been there for a while.
Meaning that it should have been that shocking that he would have learned how to start getting a grasp on
Right.
himself. But I mean, it was interesting seeing that they just jumped into that saying,
Yeah, I would have appreciated a little bit
I'm
more
Professor Hulk now.
of how they became it. I mean, and I know in the comic books, I know how it
But
happened.
I mean, I can understand for the people that casually watched the movie. I guess it was kind of jarring. Like, oh, what the hell? Now we
Yeah.
got a talking Bruce Banner, Hulk
And I
conglomeration going
I
on.
fucking loved it.
I love
I
it.
thought it was awesome. I thought he was great. I still hate that Hulk is just always just underpowered, and it just bothers me. I feel some type of way about it. So
Well, how do you think he was underpowered, like in this particular part, I guess, in this movie right now?
I like it that he became Professor Hulk. I thought it was a funny, added like the levity to the film and kind of broke up the moments. But in my opinion, I still want the Hulk to be the Hulk. We haven't seen him just Hulk out and just go crazy. I'm like, if you want to tell me Avengers or Age of Ultron, I'm like, yeah, that was cool, but I like it that he had that extra edge to him. Like he was that ace in the hole. I know they tried to make Captain Marvel the ace in the hole, but it's just like, ugh. But it is what it is. I mean, I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I don't consider him underpowered because, like I said, World War Hulk is an alternate timeline, just like Old Man Logan.
Mm-hmm.
Those are alternate timelines. Like this happens in the main. It was Earth 616 in Marvel Comics. They actually become one being.
Yeah, I know they beat.
Yeah.
But
And then he could never beat Thanos.
I'm just saying he survived the Infinity Gauntlet. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty
and
powerful.
it wasn't even a strong Infinity Gauntlet. You got to remember the other one was made with like Don Starr by the elves and all that. This was made by Tony Stark.
I'm gonna let y'all have it. Oh, yeah, it's cool. But let's move on. What's on the next part?
So I guess let me ask you this then: what would he have to do to live up to what your standard of power?
To be quite
Hulk
honest with
has?
you, I don't like Mark Ruffalo. I think he was just.
Just say that
terrible.
then.
Mark Ruffalo is
There
terrible
we
to
go.
me, man. I just think he's just give me Edward Norton back, please.
I actually really like.
I did
I
like-
love Edward Norton.
I
'cause
did like
he
Edward
was
Norton,
good.
but the
Oh.
problem was I can't see Edward
Yeah, he's-
Norton working with
none of
Robert,
them.
with Robert Downey.
None of them.
No one wants to work with that
Yeah.
fool because he's a fucking asshole.
Right.
But he is a great actor. But yeah, let's move on to what's going on. They try to go ahead and they learn about the quantum realm and how that you can go back in time. Or do y'all want to talk about just going
Man,
and talk to?
so that's probably the biggest misstep I think is how they did that, and they try to make the jokes, and they even did it throughout the whole movie where they're like referencing old movies. It was like, oh, do you think time travel is going to be like Back to the Future and all this shit?
I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, but the thing is that they end up doing Back to the Future anyways, and I thought that was kind of lame.
And not explaining it well enough where we can just grasp it.
Well, I mean, but if you watch Back to the Future, you're like, yo, they're still doing Back to the Future, and that part seemed kind of cheesy to me, especially because they kept doing like dropping little hints referencing other movies, like when they went to go get the Power Stone and they referenced Raiders of the Lost. Oh, is it Raiders of the Lost Ark? I think it was that one.
Yeah, when it was Morag or Morog or whatever, when he was like, oh, don't go in there because you might
if you spike some booby traps.
Okay, that's nice. Nice shout out to another Disney property they got going on.
See, all the movies they referenced were all Disney movies.
I know.
All Disney
make
movies.
that money.
And that kind of thing, like, especially for you who hates Disneying things, I was like, God damn it, man. I wish Jarvis was sitting here so I could hear him pissed off at this screen. I
just gave this face the whole time. Oh, no, what's the Thor face from Ragnarok? He's like, really, though?
Yep. Oh, and speaking of, I'm glad they brought Taika Waititi back in here with Korg.
Korg, yeah.
Playing the video. Hey, he's back. New Master 69, he's back.
I thought it was pretty funny. I thought the comedy was well done in this movie. Once again, Marvel hit and miss with comedy sometime with me, but I personally thought that the comedy was a great add to this movie. It didn't really subtract from anything. There was not one time where I was like, well, that was corny as hell. Everything felt well placed and well timed. Even with the Thor thing, when we get a reveal that Thor is Fat Thor, it was like, okay, that's pretty funny. You know, it was pretty funny him being drunk and depressed and stuff like that.
But it made sense because, like, he basically screwed up twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So let's go to that heist, the time heist thing. So how did you like them going back and jumping through old movies? I thought that was rich. I thought it was great.
Good.
I love.
Which one did you like the most?
Honestly, when they jumped back into the Avengers, seeing Hulk go down the stairs.
I thought it was pretty cool seeing Tilda Swinton up there like picking some of the army off and literally, if you remember, it's like when Avengers was going on, we didn't know nothing about Doctor Strange being involved.
Right.
But just seeing her just just popped me in my fucking face. What the fuck?
I'm over here doing my Tilda Swinton
what
thing,
the hell?
knocking shit off in the background.
Like, you trying to knock my what he was at that astral projection?
There you go. See, now that was pretty cool.
That was pretty dope.
Knocking Hulk and Bruce Banner separate. That was dope. I think and I think there's kind of a nod to the fact that Doctor Strange is about to play a huge part, if I had to guess, in the next phase of Marvel movies.
The strongest, but hey, man.
Shit, man. But what's his name? Mordor. Mortar. He's supposed to be the next big bad in the Marvel universe. So
love Chiwetel Ejiofor.
I mean, there's so much more you can do with Doctor Strange because you bring in so many other characters. I mean,
in different universes.
Doctor Doom, because Doctor Doom was Sorcerer Supreme at one point. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's so much more you get to do with him. Ghost Rider, because he worked with Ghost Rider, Blade, and Morbius. They became the Midnight Suns.
And then speaking, you talking about 2012, them going back to the Avengers movie, I thought that was also funny, just seeing that Robert Redford popping up in there and that being a connection, or also with a little nod to Winter Soldier with him getting in the elevator with we know that are Hydra soldiers, but not everybody knows at the time they're Hydra soldiers. I thought that was really rich.
And that was also a really good thing because a lot of comic book fans. There was a storyline where Cap actually becomes a Hydra agent. So for Cap to lean over and say, "Hell, Hydra," I lost my shit.
I thought it was pretty great.
I think they did a good job, too, of actually tying like some loose ends up. Like, hey, how did Hydra get this scepter the way they did? And they're saying it was a really nice, neat little bow of just saying, boom.
You're sure right. So in Age of Ultron, they did have a scepter. I was like, how the hell did they get
that was
this
the
shit?
biggest like question mark.
I forgot about
it. And now we know.
All right, good one. Now you.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice one.
And like I said, the time travel didn't bother me so much because that was the first thing initially I was like, some of this stuff don't.
No movie gets time travel right.
But did you like
it?
Not
one movie.
Did you have a favorite scene? Did you have a favorite scene?
Yo, most bad.
No.
Okay, I was about to say, my favorite scene is fucking obvious.
Listen, did you have a favorite scene of them going back in time? What, like Thor and Frigga? Didn't really
that was cool.
Iron Man and
but honestly,
Dad?
Iron Man, all the emotional shit was cool. My favorite part was the shortest part of that when Hulk was like, "Man, I don't want to do this shit." He just
he's like taking
his little freak out.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, because at first I was like, "What the fuck's going on?"
All right, man. Let's cut the bullshit. Let's stop deep diving.
Yeah,
what part did you love the most?
Fucking Captain America
getting
the fucking
that
hammer.
fucking hammer was balls, man. Just watching them go at.
I yelled in the movie theater.
I did.
I
That's
yelled
the first
"fuck
time.
yeah" in the middle of the movie.
That's the first time I think I've ever yelled at a film, and I think the people behind me were probably pissed, but I really don't care.
I got cheered on.
I think my favorite though,
What?
Cap on your left. And then you see the window open up.
So
and Black Panther walks
That was
out.
cool.
I was like,
all that shit was great, but he called lightning and struck Thanos with fucking lightning. From
That was great.
Come on
in
now.
itself, but watching that cinematic gold of just on your left and him just turning and you see our king just walk through.
Wait, but
What?
did you
And that
see
was
though, like the Justice League callback though? Like, that definitely was like that scene in I think it was Justice League in one of the DC movies where they come out and they have like the whole entire army right there and shit.
Marvel has one of those too. That's what's even because that's what happened.
Yeah, but it felt more like they were
That's
kind
what
of just
you
like
think,
fuck you, DC.
But that's what you think. But Marvel was well known, as Jarvis probably knows, for Infinity War. It was the combination of all those heroes combining, or clashing. So they had that.
That part, that's not
poster.
what I mean. It's just more so.
I know
like,
what you're
it
talking
just
about. It's
seems
in
like
Wonder
it's-
Woman. It's in
yeah,
Wonder Woman.
there you
When
go.
they all got together to fight Steppenwolf. When she was talking about when they all fight.
Yeah, that's
Steppenwolf.
Justice
He's
League.
talking
Oh,
about
yeah,
like
Justice
Justice League,
League,
the
yeah.
cartoon, like when they
No,
call
No,
I'm
no,
talking
in the
about
movie-
I'm
in
talking
the
about the
movie,
movie where they show that wide pan with Steppenwolf and all the
When they
little
show
shit
what happened
coming
at
out.
first. At
people
first was
combining.
Steppenwolf.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I
When
see.
they had
Exactly.
when they had the lanterns, the Atlanteans.
Boo.
Because it even felt
How dare
gummy,
you.
It even felt gummy like that for a split second. I was like, I felt like they did that on purpose.
How dare you mention
Oh,
Justice
you're
League in this
tripping,
podcast?
dude. You're tripping. As bad as Justice League is, we all know there's a
There
back
are
and
good
forth between
movies.
Marvel and DC.
There are good moments in bad movies.
Absolutely. And it wasn't even a bad moment. I just was like, yo, y'all
No.
are petty.
I needed more fleshing out of that one. I did like that scene on Justice League.
I did too.
But yeah, back to Endgame. I love that scene. I thought it was awesome. Just
And
seeing
then- and
all
then
these
to see-
random Asgardians
And it was
who are supposed to be dead
really
come
dope
out.
how Spider-Man, one of my favorite characters, like I said, he's in the background swinging and just swings out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, I think it was. I think it was a tear moment just to see all those characters just on one screen. Just
Yeah, and they let
22
all the
films.
shine of them. Like, they all shine
It was
really well. Like,
beautiful.
you see in Valkyrie come through on Pegasus
You're right.
and fucking things up. I was like, all right, cool.
Jack Hercules for his horse. Give me that shit, nigga.
Bro, Pepper Potts looked dope in her Iron Man suit or whatever
Yeah.
it's called.
And
That shit
another-
was cool.
And another thing I didn't know, so when they go visit Iron Man early in the film and they're like talking to him about time travel, and he's like talking to his daughter, I didn't know he's like, this is a gift I'm trying to give to your mama. I didn't even notice that was the rescue armor that she was playing with. I was like, oh, okay, that was nice little tad bit there, little tidbit there.
Yeah.
I
They-
mean-
they did a good job too when they did that little montage of showing all their female characters.
Oh,
that
I
was
was like,
beautiful.
yo, Marvel's got some badass female
They got
characters.
some-
Like,
They do.
they need to
and
have
the
more
cra-
movies.
And the
with
crazy
them.
thing is, to me, that's not even their most popular ones.
Mm-hmm.
The most popular females like Storm,
Yeah.
then Jean Grey,
Mm-hmm.
then Rogue, and
All
then,
the
main
X-Men.
characters.
and then
all the X-Men.
most of the X-Men and Mrs. Fantastic, Invisible Woman.
We all say that, but you can just look at all their characters from Iron Man, Thor, Captain
Right.
America. They're all B-list comic book characters, honestly.
Yeah,
they're
but
not
they-
their A-list
But that's what the
stars.
movies did, and that's why I appreciate
I love
the
it.
MCU. They took a lot of what they didn't have. It's all right. We don't have this tier right here. Let's go to this tier, raise it up.
I
There's
give
something.
It to,
Go ahead.
I'm about to say I give it to that, but I give it to the acting and from the actresses as well as the actors because they really fleshed out a lot of, as well as the writing to a certain extent. But a lot of those characters, they really just that's the emotional way because I really care two shits about Thor literally for the first two movies, but I
They
love
were garbage.
I love Chris Hemsworth as an actor, and I'm like, wow, you did a good job and made me care for this character.
And to me, that's the casting.
Mhm.
Like
Right.
they cast it really well.
except Don Cheadle.
I like what Vincent Patrick just said.
Jean Grey.
How useless Captain Marvel was for majority of the
So
movie.
that actually was my point. Was that I'm glad they didn't rely on her like they made it seem like
They
because
did. That was
because
good.
that would have been like that would have been just a fucking cop
That
out.
is a good. If you think about it, we all were led to believe that. Oh, I guess Captain Marvel's the
Gonna
one that's got to
save
fuck
everybody.
else.
Which
Which
is
is like, oh damn, she really
No,
didn't.
which was
No.
dope because you think about the trailers only really showed you the first 15 minutes of the
True.
movie, and
Yeah.
that's it. You maybe saw little clips from the end for a second.
But
Another dope scene though when
Go
speaking
for
of
it.
Captain Marvel when
Yeah.
Thannos took out the Power Stone in his hand.
it is
fucking
a whacker.
decked her. I was
How
like,
dare
all
you.
right, Thanos,
You're not supposed to hit women.
Dog.
You're not supposed to hit women.
Speaking of Thanos though,
especially her.
we actually got to see the ruthless Thanos.
Oh,
in
I
this
love
movie.
it.
Yes.
Like
He-
Thanos came to
He
fuck
gave no
shit
fucks.
up.
He's like, okay, I'm gonna knock Iron Man out with Thor's hammer, and then I'm gonna knock. Oh man, he was giving Thor that work. Thor was like, damn, I wish
Bro,
I
he
was on
broke the
Asgard.
shield.
Oh, he was
in
fucking-
multiple pieces.
He was
Right.
fucking Cap
that,
up.
that dude, man, I was like, bro, Cap's about to go out. He got stabbed in the leg. I was like, man, you put up a hell of a fight, but damn, dude.
Marvel
about
should have
to
put me
die.
in the movie. I would have popped up. I would have came out of one of those little spinning tunnels.
Thanos would have just taken the Reality Stone and just turned you into some bubbles. He'd be like, bubbles.
Bubbles.
I'm the one who ends it all. I take the glove.
But speaking of taking the glove, Robert Downey Jr. once again,
Performance.
being Iron Man. Holy shit!
I cried.
Did y'all see the ending coming? Like,
I didn't see
not
that.
not him being killed, but how he did it.
No, I did not see that coming.
They really okay. So my nitpick of the film before we go into that is like with the Pym particle thing, like one individual per Pym particle. That was my issue. Thanos making it through. He shouldn't have made it through with all his army without. They didn't all have Pym particles. But the issue.
I didn't even think about that.
Right.
You can nitpick the film because even if you introduce that and say only Thanos comes out, I said Iron Man still didn't need to sacrifice himself. He had to sacrifice himself to get rid of Thanos' army, which is understandable.
Well, hold on. Wait, for those people, though, I'm just going to say this for the Pym particle thing. Earlier in the movie, Rocket makes a comment to Tony saying, "Hey, you're only a genius on Earth." It's very likely that with them Pym particles, that fucking Thanos' ship was able to replicate them shit. That's a very easy
strong.
detail.
I heard somebody say that. I heard
detail
somebody say that, and I was just
ignore.
like, I hate to not see it and just to think, okay, I guess that's what happened. But that's the problem.
Yeah, you don't
with
want
it.
them
I want
you want
see
them
it.
to
I want
explain
to
that shit.
explain
Yeah,
that
right.
because
But I mean, it's very easy to think that that's probably what happened because you created a living robot with someone who can connect through
That is
quantum
true.
entanglement.
that is
And
true.
then
How
you
she
get
popped
all
up.
the info
Right.
that way. I think you can probably replicate some shit, some
Yeah.
little particle that a human created.
It just, I know what you're saying. It would have been nice to sort of see. Just
Yeah.
like I would have been nice to see the Hulk situation. It would have been nice to see him actually.
Like how do you
replicate the
put on a fucking shirt?
Right.
Can Thanos legalize? Can he make that happen? Can he legalize?
Well, Thanos is dead, so I'm gonna say no.
Snap. But yeah,
Mr. Trebek, no, he
Endgame,
can't.
great movie. Did you
Yeah.
have any critiques of the movie before we move on to good old Game
So
of
I only
Thrones?
saw it once.
Okay.
I don't. There's nothing I really want to. I purposely didn't think about it too hard when I left. I just wanted to just enjoy it. Since I just saw it yesterday. I mean, sure. When I go back and see it, I'm gonna nitpick at things like the Pym particle shit. Oh no, one really glaring one.
Go for
I
it.
don't like how Captain America aged. I think that was stupid because the two things that stood out to me was either one, you mean to tell me that Captain America knew all this shit was about to happen and decided he's not going to take part of it, and two, he has the serum in him. He's
shouldn't
supposed to age way slower than her.
That is true.
So that kind of
But the
made me
directors,
scratch my head.
me and Ziggy were talking about this. The directors, they did talk about it earlier that there is a story there that they probably would explain a lot of the stuff that's going on. So I just once
Didn't see
again
it.
just said, okay, turn your brain off, Marcus. Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. Old Cap.
Well, yeah, especially with the
Cap's old now. Cool.
especially with the timeline
Falcon.
thing.
Here's my shield.
Yo, and Falcon's beard.
Oh, go
that
for
shit was
it.
stupid.
Oh,
His beard was so
I hate
his
ugly.
beard.
I
ugly.
just sat there and just like, yo, what is that?
Papa Doc.
That-
Papa
oh
Doc
my
needs to
God.
fix his needs to fix his beard.
The facial
But,
hair in that movie was
but
stupid.
the timeline thing, the timeline still exists. It's basically by having something else happen, like say him returning back, he forms another timeline, or he can return to a different timeline. By him finding her, he starts a new timeline.
So it's that same thing that Sorcerer Supreme was explaining.
Yeah. So what happens in Infinity War still happens.
Okay.
But Cap goes and makes another timeline
Okay. Makes sense.
and has his life with Peggy.
Makes sense.
And then decides to come back. He's like, all right, yeah, I'm done. All right, I'm out this bitch.
Christopher pointed out that Hulk had a North Face on. I was like, that's funny.
He had a who?
Yeah,
a North
he
Face
had a North
jacket
Face on. I remember that.
Hey, Hulk was he had a little Lou Ferrigno in there.
Yo, they did it. Yeah,
That
yeah.
one scene where he's like taking pictures and he's like, I was like, oh, he looked like
Yo,
a
they
Lou
did a
Ferrigno.
good job of melding like the personalities of the Hulk and Bruce.
Did you
Banner
watch?
together. That was
Do
pretty
y'all
good.
watch I Love You, Man?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
When Paul Rudd's with Lou Ferrigno in that
Yeah,
movie, I
I
thought of
tried to
that when
fight
he was
him.
talking
Yeah.
to Hulk. I was like, oh, that was a good callback. But I'm like, I thought it was a great film. I don't want to nitpick too much. Oh, Iron Man's death. We didn't really dive a little bit deeper.
Still in the stones and
I
putting
cried.
him on his. Did
you cry?
I didn't cry.
Did you? You cried? No.
That I
Robert Downey
didn't
Jr.
cry,
Still alive. I don't know.
seeing
I don't care about that rich nigga. $75 million rich.
Bro, he
seeing
was
Peter
number
come
one.
up to him when he was dying. That was all. I was like that was harder than Peter dying.
Yeah,
Seeing Peter come up to him as he does, I was like, ooh, okay, that one's Pete.
when I invest in a movie,
Yeah.
I like to invest everything. I mean, to a certain extent. So when I'm caught up in a movie, I was really caught up in the movie with just the callbacks, just the acting, the the everything that was going on. So when that happened, you know, just seeing him snapping, his performance of just his body was decayed and how he just looked lifeless, and her just talking to him, it's like, Tony, it's okay, you know, we'll be okay. And I was just like dying inside. I was like, damn, I remember when he first started off of Iron Man, he was just fucking hoes, and I was just like, damn. And then all of a sudden he was just like, he's got a kid, you know, family man. I'm just like, wow. And
that was the other thing we kind of glazed over, is that they really sold why he didn't want to actually take on this mission in the first place, because he had so much to lose after the snap.
And he kept saying, don't change anything that happened in the last 5 years. He kept telling that to Hulk. He was like, hey, don't change whatever. Captain America, we're not erasing what happened, because he cared about his, and I love you 3000. I mean, that was just like, damn, man. I was like, I was really broken out here in the
But
theater.
you know, there's another story behind the 3000.
It's another story about 3000.
There's an invertible chair called the Iron Man 3000.
Well, no, that's just something that
It's a real thing.
I need that.
But if you take all the movies together, it equals 3,000 minutes.
Oh, and I also heard that the 3,000, because, you know, I love you a ton, 2,000, and, you know, more than a ton, 3,000. So I was like, oh, that was really sweet. Yeah. And, you know, me having a child, you know, I felt a little emotional. So when him talking to John Favreau character, Happy, and he was like, what do you want to eat? Hamburger or something.
Christopher just pointed out. Yeah.
I was crying, man. I'm sorry. I was boo-hooing in it. I was cool with it.
All in all, I give it an A-.
A-? Ooh, that's high.
Because like I said, it has some inconsistencies, but it's still a good movie. Like, when I watch it, I don't want to watch it by itself. I literally want to watch Infinity
together.
War and then watch it.
Get that full course meal.
That's
like
exactly how I want to do it.
What about you? What's your rating?
I've only seen it once. I'm still giving it an A+. I think it was. I mean, it's fucking phenomenal.
I've seen it again. I'm still gonna give it an A. I tiptoe on that and whatnot. It was a great film, great acting, great action. 99, 97 for me. But yeah,
always the detractor.
Always the detractor.
How come they couldn't take you in the snap?
What? How dared you? How dare you, dog? All right. I need to come back. So yeah, that was in our in-game talk.
So now,
oh my God,
the battle winner.
More spoilers.
So let me ask y'all this: Did y'all like last Sunday's episode of Game of Thrones?
I didn't like it.
You?
I liked it.
Not the biggest fan.
But
the
at
more
the same
and more
time,
I think about it, the more and more I dislike it.
The more I rewatched it, the more I said it's not even the strongest battle in Game of Thrones.
No, it's not at all.
You said what?
It's not the strongest battle in Game of Thrones. No.
Battle of the Bastards is still my favorite one.
All right, I want to get into critiques. I don't even want to.
I like The Wall.
The Wall is good too.
Oh damn, I forgot about the Wall.
The Wall was dope.
The Wall battle was dope, and I love. I think that was the man. Low key, I'm glad you said that. I totally forgot about that battle when they did that long shot, follow shot of when they were fighting in the castle and they were following what everybody was doing. Yeah. I thought it was pretty dope. But my problem with this episode is there was a lot of stupid shit going on, and we're gonna call it out.
No, Vincent, I did not.
What does Vincent say?
He sent me some snap that. I think that might have been on his story. I don't know. He's talking about someone Game of Thrones.
Stop talking to us. We're talking about Game of Thrones.
How are you? But he's actually talking about Game of Thrones too.
Make sure you come to the intermission page, Vincent, and whatever you had to say, drop it there.
Drop it in the comments. Yeah, but yeah, Game of Thrones. I thought it was. I thought it was pretty dope.
Way to end that one, Marcus.
I was like, drop it in the comments. So Game of Thrones. I thought that it was a lot of stupid shit, and the one that glares out is their battle plan. I'm just lost on how just ridiculous all that shit was.
Two things happened. One, they thought they had more time.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, this is still the same day as the last episode.
And that was the point I was making. It's like they didn't have that much time.
Two, Danny fucked it up.
Three, they didn't have warriors with them. They had a bunch of farmers and family people.
And Dothraki is not organized.
That was the thing I pointed.
That's fine with Dothraki.
They can't fight behind. They fight on horses. They can't fight behind walls.
I'm talking about the Unsullied. I think that was just a waste of a lot of their talents, because I still, if I want to critique, I'm gonna have y'all on protecting the perimeter of the tower. So if they get over, we can start just chopping heads. Everybody just chopping heads.
Pikemen, though, they're supposed to be kind of like.
I'm just gonna critique a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna critique a little bit.
Unsullied are best with spears.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool.
And
they need long distance and then really, really close. Right. But their mid game
you don't see too many Unsullied with bow and arrows, and you need.
I don't think we've.
But you don't need bow. I wasn't even talking about bow and arrows.
On the wall, though, you want pretty much your bowmen all right there.
The biggest thing that they fucked up with going into that show is, first off, I don't know why Ghost was even there. He's dead. I'm guessing.
No, he's alive. If you look on the trailer, he's there on the trailer.
That's stupid. Then he should be dead.
No, no.
If you want to say that's stupid, how about everybody should be dead?
Here's the thing.
Everybody should.
Everybody should be dead.
Also,
And
my
here's
boy
what someone
Jordan,
said.
who me and him had a conversation before the season started, said, if you think that anybody's gonna survive, you're wrong. Well, guess what, Jordan?
They're surviving.
You're wrong. And Night King's dead, which
But,
is very unsatisfying to say because I was not expecting it to happen that way.
I like the way it happened.
Arya's a badass.
Arya's a badass. I did Vincent Patrick. I did see what everybody's talking about, and I've rewatched it, and you can almost hear him say it.
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he distracted her. I rewatched that clip a few times. I'll send it to you later.
And you can hear John say "go," so he's the one distracting the Viserion, because Viserion's blocking the.
All right, so
the
let's
Wormwood tree.
back up. We just jumped all over.
yeah.
Light
that.
the trench.
So
I want to start there.
Let's start with Light the Trench. That's
Dog, what?
That was stupid.
So when they lit the trench,
Yeah.
and it just flares up, I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty dope. And I see John chilling on his dragon, and the trench lights up right by.
It
What
was
the hell are
stupid
you
that
doing?
they only had one way of lighting the trench. Like, we all know that the Night King killed and took your dragon. Why would you only rely on the dragon? Because you know he's going to try and take the other
Exactly.
two. You should have some other kind of fail-safe. It took Grey Worm at first thinking, okay, I'm going to do this. And then finally Melisandre stepped up and was like, yo,
And she was a
I'm
G
going to put
this
my hands
episode.
on this
Hey,
wood.
hey, she came in off the bench the whole episode.
What do we say? A god of death?
Hey, from the beginning,
Not
because
today.
That's still one of my favorite lines, though.
had the Dothraki been organized, when she lit their swords, yo, that changed the whole scope.
I thought that was pretty dope watching that visually. I thought that was
Yeah.
pretty dope, and just
Like I said,
watching them decimate.
She comes in off the bench.
You mean
like
getting
a mother-
decimated?
Yeah.
They didn't decimate anybody.
Oh, that's what I was like.
They got fucked up.
Yeah, they did get fucked up.
Yeah. But
But
that shit was
I was
it
speaking
was
on
good
Ghost.
to look at.
Basically, what they said was once they saw what they were dealing with, Ghost turned around.
I didn't see that. He actually did turn around.
They said Ghost beat Jorah back. So Ghost went inside into the
All
castle.
of that shit is stupid. A horde of whites running against Dothraki decimates them. Why is Jorah coming back? They
I
run,
had a problem with
They
that
run face first. Guess
Jorah
who's at the
is
front of the
no-
line? Guess who's in the front of the line?
Well, Jorah is no way a better horseback rider
No.
than those Dothraki. There's no way you can convince me on that
Tormund
shit.
on the front line, Grey Worm on the front line, Bran on the front line, Jaime on the front line, Sam's on the front line. A horde of whites.
Fuck you, Sam. You know
A
what? Let
horde of whites come and they survive.
me say this. Fuck you, Sam. We lost Ed because of you.
So I didn't know Ed's name was Ed until this
I didn't know
episode.
what his
They
name
said,
was.
oh shit, we lost Ed.
Hey, that guy died.
It was
That was my
Dolores
mistake.
Ed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
And he gave such comedy, even his few lines.
Yeah,
And
he's definitely Braun of the Night's Watch.
Yeah.
But here's my thing with this whole episode, is that the shit that you're pointing out, even what you're talking about right now with Ed, we didn't lose enough
No.
tier 1 characters.
No,
we
we
lost
didn't.
Jorah.
We
and
didn't.
that is kind of like some lip service that I think they were
Let me ask
paying
you a que- I'm
to
gonna
make
ask y'all a
people
question.
all happy and go lucky and shit.
Who do you think they should have killed?
Tormund or Brienne, somebody who was fighting with all them
Right.
fucking
Okay.
White
Yeah.
Walkers.
I want to see, who do you think?
I agree. Tormund and Brienne.
Or even fucking Jaime.
I actually thought Arya was going to die.
Yeah,
Okay.
for a minute. I'm glad she didn't, though.
So
I'm
my-
glad she didn't, but I thought she was going to die because she's never been in a big battle
Yeah.
compared to everyone else.
Well, I see. I didn't even think that was even a threat because she was always trained to not be She's the god of death. She's trained by the god of death, so she wouldn't be scared to fight some White Walkers. That's why I was like,
No,
even
but
though you can't.
But her whole thing is about
Her ki-
evading and
and
killing
sneaking,
you
like-
secretly. That's why
right.
she had that whole fear in her when she was surrounded
when
by
they
them, 'cause
got
she
around-
doesn't have any training for that shit.
No. Let's dial back. No, she got trained by the god of death to be a
No,
killer.
she
she got
got
trained
trained
by-
by
she got
a
trained by
she
the
got paid a
faceless men.
faceless
Yes,
man to be an assassin.
To be assassin.
No, that's
But
not the same
You
thing
trying to
as-
say that assassins still can't be a killer?
Yes, because assassins are not trained in warfare.
John Wick, go John Wick, assassin.
We're not talking
Jason
John-
Bourne,
we're
go
not-
out there,
we're not-
assassin.
no.
She is an assassin.
We're not talking that
And the only
universe.
reason
An
why
assassin
she
is a completely different skill than being a soldier in a fucking vanguard fight.
Right.
They're not the same thing. Like, first off, if you see what she carries a knife with her. She killed in a little tiny ass sword. If you look at what Jock and Hagar killed these people with, darts and slitting their throats and hanging them on shit, all shit with stealth. You don't see them ever in an all-out fight fighting 20 people at one time with a sword.
But that's fine. I loved it even more that they didn't put her in the forefront of the battle, so she was just on the wall and just marking people. So
what I'm
why
saying
can't she
is
still
that-
not be a raw?
Because she is a raw killer. But that's not the same thing as being someone. That's like saying, okay, so this guy who's good at jiu-jitsu is also going to be good at fucking swimming.
Right. And you know
like,
what?
Because John's a raw killer.
Even $1 even back, the directors even broke down when they broke down how well she is of a killer and how they put her in a place where she.
Even Earlene says it. She's trained on 1-on-1 kills, not battles.
That's fine and dandy. She wasn't
comparing a sniper and then a guy who's.
But she wasn't
assault
in
team.
the war. That's what I'm saying. She wasn't in the battle. She was literally on the wall just fighting
talking
people.
about the fact that she was surrounded by a bunch of people at one time. That's not her skill set.
Yeah.
That's
But
why
she was
running though. That's why she was running.
But
Because if it was her skill set, she would have stayed there instead of trying to sneak around the bookshelf.
And that's the problem right there. The director even called it out. The only reason why she was so timid and all of a sudden why she was like that is because she hit her head on the wall, and then that's when she was dazed. They even highlighted and said that's when she lost her confidence where she wasn't scared of anything. And on top of that, they said that she didn't get it back until Melisandre had talked to her and made her remember who she was.
So let's point out, even with that same scene, okay? If she was an assault-style soldier, she would have taken out all the Night King. I mean, all the White Walkers, and then taken out the Night King. But what she did was she came stealthily, speed past all of them, and took him out with a
even
knife.
being an assassin, she still wasn't a dummy where she couldn't fight.
No,
that's the problem.
we're not saying.
But she just said she wasn't trained for war. That you don't have to be trained for war.
What was said at all. What we
Jarvis
said
just said
no,
she wasn't trained for
that's
war.
not what he said. He said she's trained for a very specific skill set. She is an assassin. She goes in stealthily, takes out the key people, and then moves the fuck on.
And that's a great thing, but that still doesn't mean that she couldn't be ready for battle. Because I remember Jarvis, and that's why I'm debating that, because Jarvis said she wasn't ready for war. Doesn't matter, because you still were still a great fighter.
All-out warfare.
But you're still a fighter. I'm still gonna have you on the wall to fight.
So let me ask you this.
Well, we are going too far.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Given the choice between fighting with a knife and fighting with a sword at the Battle of the Bastards, what would you pick? You're in the middle.
Sword.
Exactly.
But she had a staff. But she had a custom-made staff that
broke off into two pieces.
And that she lost.
Knives.
And that she lost.
Because and the only reason why she had that staff, because that was the first thing she was trained on one-on-one combat with the weight.
And that's what I loved it, because it highlighted that she's using her training to her greatest ability to have a staff with the cuts on the end.
We'll do this. Simple question. When did you ever see her training to fight multiple people in the House of Black and White?
But who cares about training?
That's the point.
But that's the thing. So do you have to be trained to fight multiple people to
Absolutely.
be a good fighter?
To be able to fight multiple
if
people.
you're a good fighter, okay, so Ilya,
I can be good at shooting pistols.
So guess
doesn't
what?
mean I'm going to be great at shooting snipers.
Ilya Martell is from Dorne. Was trained. If you read his backstory, he was trained to be a one-on-one combat fighter. Oberyn, I mean. But he can still fight at war like he did fight at war. That's what I'm saying. You got these people who are trained to be certain.
But being a soldier, being great at one-on-one combat versus being just trained to use the shadows to sneak in, those are still two different things. Like Jaime Lannister even says, he was taught for one-on-one combat, but it was still a specific type of warfare that he was taught. He was taught to fight you with a giant-ass sword.
Let's move on. Because we'll agree to disagree. I'm still going to keep going, but let's go. So
the biggest thing with that whole thing, though, is seeing her skill set. I liked seeing her actually having that vulnerable moment where she's fucking fearful, not knowing if she's going to actually make it out of this shit. And then we see the Hound freaking out at the exact same time and seeing that bond come into play.
And you see him say, fuck it, basically, mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he sees her in trouble, he's like, fuck it. It's fire and death. Two things that creeps him the fuck out, no matter what. He's one of the most fearless characters on the show, but it's the two things you want to stop the Hound that you need. A whole bunch of death and a whole bunch of fire.
You can see how strong that dude likes Arya, though.
He got rolls up.
That shit.
Do you not see her? And he rolls up. He was ready to fight.
Which brings me to the point, though, about Melisandre's whole pep talk thing. You could have literally substituted anybody else to just say some shit to her. And I think
Once
that
again,
she
more
was
dumb stuff.
super convenient for that, but totally pointless, totally underutilized. And I think the whole ending with killing the Night King and never ever playing this whole thing up that we've been like bringing ourselves to from day one, ending in 3 episodes. That shit just seems very, very
I at least
weak to me.
thought it was gonna be 2 episodes. I think Grandfather Clock said the same thing. I thought this battle was gonna last 2 episodes.
Yeah,
No, I knew it was going to be one off episode. I had a feeling, because I just feel like the way it was going, it was just like they weren't. Because I'm going to be honest with you, dog. It's just too much stuff in this episode that made me not even like this episode. And it got to the point where I started to retract my statement with the last season as well as this season. There's a lot of glaring things that I'm starting to see that are starting to bother me with the way they're going and how safe it is and how I'm just losing interest in a lot of stuff
I
that's
don't
going
think
on.
You
Now-
made a point earlier, though, to me when we were talking on the phone earlier about how you think that it almost seems like J.R.R. Martin or George R. R. Martin is trolling,
the writers just to
because
point out that
there's
he's not good
definitely
writers.
there's definitely a huge drop off in the writing for this show.
Yeah, it is.
Since his books and shit aren't.
It is.
I mean, the fact that they're not even ballsy enough to kill off major characters at this prolific rate that he was trying to kill them off at. I'm like, come on, man. Like, I know y'all about the ratings and shit.
I mean,
and
what
whatnot.
major character did we lose last season?
We lost the guy that can bring people back, and that was pretty much it.
That Toros, yeah, at the fucking battle of
And
the,
that was pretty
the
much it.
first fist of the man or whatever, when
Oh.
they first went up against
Yeah,
trying to steal the
He's the
zombie
only one.
and shit.
I'm like, we're not. I'm
I
like,
don't care about him.
It doesn't feel Game of Thrones like
No.
after a while.
He
It feels
dies,
more like
now
fan
Barrett can't come
service
back to
or
life.
viewership
Okay,
service.
cool.
now I'm thinking now, what Game of Thrones to us was unpredictable. So
Yeah, it's
now that we sit up here expecting major characters to die,
Mhm.
maybe they're fucking with us on that point.
I thought about that. But it was just like I told Howard.
Feels
My only
too
problem
safe.
was I don't like the director how he visually put certain pieces in it that didn't make sense. Like how we're seeing Brienne and all them on the wall, and like all these whites are just around them, and it's like they barely have any room. And how y'all surviving? And they have knives.
Ramsey Bolton died last season.
Oh, he sure did.
But
he died a
who
good
cares,
death too.
though? He was a
he
villain.
died a
No, he
great
died
death.
in 6.
Oh,
He died in 6. Oh,
Battle-
that was 6.
Battle
It is.
Bastards is
Yeah, it
6.
was 6. But it was just interesting, like, or when he sees like you see a horde of zombies pouring into Winterfell, but then you sit up there and you're watching, and it's just like, wouldn't they just easily overtake everybody? And it just
from being
it's stuff like-
tired. Just
exactly.
being
It's just
tired.
stuff like that that just makes me mad. And it's like Game
But
of Thrones hasn't never done that.
Lana
in the first 6
Mormont though
seasons.
went out like a fucking.
She went out like a
She
G.
did, but I also
I
think
had like a run. Ah!
Yeah, I
That
did
was
hate
pretty
that.
funny.
Yeah.
But I think that what that was, I think the Night King wanted to kill Bran himself.
He had the gangster walk up though.
Because you got to think about it, the Whites killed everyone else
And they
except
stopped.
Theon and Bran. So
I feel like the Night King just want a backhand Brand. It's like he just walked up like he just wants to,
bitch.
like, what the fuck you doing?
I mean, it just seems like that part was so rushed. We never actually got to see what all the Night King could even do beyond
Well,
that shit.
he gave us
was Michael.
he gave us the Winter Storm.
He was Michael.
cool.
Because that fucked the whole plan up.
Man, that fucked up the whole scene
That
of my
dragon fight?
episode.
Yeah.
The dragon fight was the coolest thing about the whole
was
thing.
dope.
And then that shot with them above the
was a
smoke.
cloud.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
complain on that. I complained a little bit on that.
On what part?
Of like how the Night King just comes up and just blasts John out the way. And he just like falling like whoa.
He should've
And
just
then-
kept doing
And then
that.
she's like, and he
Evade.
flies the
Evade.
Daenerys, and then he just ducks off, and then I'm just like, okay, man. It's some stuff that I didn't like, but all in all, it was a cool episode.
But one, I don't think the Night King's, like I said, we give Night King so much credit. I don't think he's actually that good of a strategist.
True. I mean, could be.
Like, honestly, his plan was extremely flawed as well.
I mean, everything they showed us makes him look like he's a shit strategist.
Right. And
but
when
he's
you
powerful.
And when you really think about it throughout the episode, he's not the greatest.
I'm just salty that Bran is cold, man. He just let Theon die. He could have said, "Hold on, Theon. Arya's on the way." A whisper to him or something.
But I think Theon's death was purpose because it made the Night King stop and kill.
That is true. It gave
Yeah,
the
pause
time
it.
break.
Right.
It gave the time. He pulled
Just
a Doctor Strange.
Right, probably just
He
enough.
pulled that Doctor Strange on his
I
ass.
heard the bargain.
Oh man. One other thing I would have liked. I personally would have liked if they did this to the episode. I know we're about to end this. If they would have killed off the rest of Daenerys' allegiances. So kill off Melisandre, kill off Grey Worm, kill off.
I didn't want none of them. I wanted black people.
But I'm
to
telling
live.
you, I wanted them to die for
Yeah.
a reason. But I wanted them to die
Sure.
for. Oh well, you all for the culture. I understand that, but I wanted them to kill them off for a reason. So coming off that conversation she just had with John, they'll lead into going with, you have nothing, so you don't have no claims, but the words you saying, you have no army anymore, you have no people by your side, and on top of that, Tyrion just had a conversation with Sansa where it's just like, you don't know if he wants to stay with the Dragon Queen or not. That
So-
would have been really interesting.
But if that happens, though, so let's say that did happen. Who the fuck is going to go attack Cersei now? Because John doesn't want the Iron Throne. Neither does
doesn't.
Sansa.
Yeah.
None of them want the Iron Throne. They just want the North.
That is true.
Yeah.
And then Cersei, she may or may not try and go after the Iron Throne and keep
That
it
is
just
true.
because
Yeah.
she's crazy and all. But
And here's-
seriously though, I don't. Think
I didn't
so.
want Grey. I thought Grey Worm was gonna die. I won't lie. Or Melisandre, because one, they've done nothing but serve.
Oh, no, I agree. No, I know. No, I know
And
why
now,
they wouldn't kill him off.
To
I'm
me,
saying who I
like,
would
I
want.
wanted Grey Worm to just get peace at one point. Like that would be a good story arc for him to be fighting his entire
With him and
life.
Missandei on
And
Knot
Nas,
and everything.
right?
Yeah.
That would have been a cool story. I don't think we're gonna get it because it's Game of Thrones, but
Well, it was dope. It was dope. So
Who do y'all think is going to kill Cersei?
don't know, don't care. Hopefully
What do
one
you
of the
mean?
brothers.
I'm
I just want somebody to kill her. I
Jaime.
just
like
kill somebody.
I'm still with my my theory that Cersei's gonna kill Tyrion,
Okay.
and then Jaime's gonna kill Cersei. But
Because
then,
you kill Tyrion?
yeah, and
Okay.
but that's gonna drive Jaime mad, and he's gonna kill himself.
That would be very poetic, very Romeo and Juliet-ish.
Who do y'all think is going to win the Iron Throne?
Marcus Griffin. I'm just going.
All right, we're done with the show.
Just going to zoom into the
All
TV.
right.
I sit here now, bitches.
The House of Griffin.
Bow down to me.
House
Well,
of
actually,
Griffin,
Fence
huh?
it, she still has both dragons.
That would be a dope. That would be a dope.
No, I don't think she has both
Look at the
dragons.
trailer.
Show.
Look at the trailer.
has
No,
both.
They
no.
both
It
they're
shows.
both
Yeah,
flying.
I don't think she has both dragons.
Oh no!
Oh no, no.
Rick-
They both. They
Rick-
both
Both dragons
rolling
are
John.
still alive.
They rolling with Daddy
But-
John.
No,
They
no.
rolling with Daddy
I
John.
actually think that eventually Drogon's going to go to Jon. I feel like, because I mean, I'm telling you, like, Jon has that Targaryen blood.
Yeah.
And he has more claim
Well, I know-
to it.
I know
think
he's
going to
got-
be the more dominant
I know
one.
he's got Rhaegal.
Yeah.
Like Rhaegal is his, but I
Or
just
they're
want
gonna
to
do
see
some
of
weird
Jon on the throne
uncle thing.
with Ghost and the dragon.
Dragon
behind.
behind.
I'm like, that's all I've been waiting on.
Wouldn't that be a dope move of like Ghost just like running up the dragon and the dragon just blows fires and kills somebody and the goat just jumps off on his head and just
Okay,
that'd be a dope thing.
you know what? Vince is right. Dragons are bonded for life.
But
So I think.
I mean, according to what though? I mean, because George R. R. Martin even said, "Don't listen to all the lore. It's as what it's supposed to be."
Oh,
He said,
shit.
"Don't take it literal." And I mean, the thing is that they're all of them were supposed to be bonded to her, but you see what happened with Rhaegal. He's not.
that
no
is
longer
true.
bonded to
That
her.
is true.
So.
And,
Wonderful,
and
wonderful.
fucking Viserion. Shit.
And we don't even know what their bond, like what it signifies their bond.
Their
Like,
bond.
like, how do we know? Because before now, she
Oh.
was the only Targaryen that
Before
we
we
see.
close out, fucktards.
hold on, we're not
Huh?
closing out. We're not
No.
closing out.
Well, let me get this out the way before you interrupt me. The Night King is not Bran. Never was Bran. And he is not a fucking Targaryen. Seriously. Stop with that.
Oh dang, let them people have their
So, yeah.
imagination.
Well, no,
So,
no,
we're
it's
here to
actually
think about that, though.
explained.
I know it
there-
is,
there-
it is.
So there was a bunch of things that when I saw people saying, "Oh, he's the Targaryen," I was like, "No, it's stupid. He controls them." But I did see someone make a very valid point. There is actually one Targaryen that would have been at the wall. That was a bastard Targaryen. That was also for somebody from
Maester
the from,
Aemon.
No, not him. No, he was a full-blood Targaryen.
Yeah.
This was a bastard Targaryen because he was actually royalty. He gave up his shit.
Yeah.
But there was a bastard Targaryen. He was a river because he came from the River Run. So he would have been from the north, and he would have been a Targaryen.
Right.
And he was at the wall. So it's very, like, that right there was the only person who ever explained that it's possible he was a Targaryen.
And that's,
That would have been okay.
Yeah.
But he's definitely a first man. From
yeah,
the
he's the
north.
first man. You got to remember, he was created before the wall was there. The
Yeah.
wall got built after the Night King was made.
So, is it the Night King or the Night's King? Because in the books, there's two different characters. They're two separate people.
I said, I'm not reading the books until
Mm-hmm.
they finish.
Yeah, I started one of the
Because it's-
prequel ones. It's interesting
Yeah.
as fuck. They got water magic. That shit's crazy. When they actually allude to how Valerian steel is actually made.
How I know,
300
Arlene?
dragon
Because it's actually
attack.
in the show.
Well,
That's how I know.
if
Oh
you
yeah,
watch-
old Nan said some shit about him. Old Nan.
Well, no, remember when Bran saw him being created? Leaf explained that they were the first men. We created him
Yeah.
to fight the first men. And they showed Leaf putting the dragon glass in his
fair point.
heart.
That is true. And the Targaryens.
This
didn't come
was
over,
shown.
And Targaryens didn't come over until after the shit with the First Men and all that shit because they came over from Essos. Yeah.
Yeah, Targaryens originated out of Valyria
Yeah,
and Essos.
Yeah,
So,
there we go.
yeah, that's
done.
it.
Done,
well,
son.
we're done geeking out with all this Game of Thrones talk. We did have Men in Black trailer to talk about, but we're not gonna run that. It is what it
Oh,
is.
and the Sonic trailer dropped.
I don't want
and-
to talk about no Sonic trailer.
Oh man, you
It's
bullshitting.
garbage.
I actually want to see it.
Sonic looks like it's
Actually
gonna be.
wanna
Dog,
see
it
it.
looks,
It looks like it's
man.
gonna
I'm
be
not
fun.
about to. I'm not about to. It looks like Hop, like a sequel to fucking Hop,
What the fuck is Hop?
the movie with the animated bunny jumping around with James Marsden in it. I don't want to see that Sonic.
So there's a Sonic trailer. There's a Men in Black trailer. There's a couple other trailers that dropped today too.
I don't know that. I don't know the ones. I just know that Men in Black trailer is really dope.
Oh,
Man, y'all should check it out.
Krypton. Krypton's trailer
for the
dropped
first
today.
season.
But that was, yeah, that dropped
for
on
the
April
first-
3rd.
For first season just dropped today though.
No, that was April 3rd. What you
That was
posted?
April 3rd?
Yeah, it's
oh,
been-
shit, I
it's
read
been
that
out.
way wrong.
Yeah, it's been
oh,
out.
Well, never
They
mind.
coming to second
Because,
season.
Scratch
Second
what I
season
said.
They've
got
had
what you
Martial
call it.
Manhunter. They've had Zod. They've had
Second season has what you call it coming.
Never
Damn
mind.
it.
I'm behind.
Lobo.
There you go.
Lobo's
Lobo.
in it.
I can't wait. Krypton's been good, but y'all should check that out. Krypton is another great show. So don't forget to like our page, share it, spread the news, movie talk. I know we had a spoilery episode that all we did was talk about spoilers of Game of Thrones as well as
We won't spoil it as
Endgame.
much in
Not
the
really.
future, but this was just conversation.
It was an epic moment. It was an epic moment. The Rockets lost, so I'm still salty about that. So it is what it is. But did y'all have anything else to say to the lovely people out there that are tuning in, Mr. Ziggy? It doesn't matter. I'm playing. I'm playing Ziggy.
Let's get ready for the summer movie preview. We got summer movie season coming up.
Oh yeah, check out our last episode where we discussed everything coming out.
I can't wait till that Hobbs movie comes out.
That who?
That
Cat Hobbs?
I said Calvin, but I'm
Oh,
thinking
I said Cat and Hobbs. I'm like, what
Hobbs
movie
and
is
Shaw.
this?
Hobbs and Shaw.
I'm down with that,
That's
dog.
gonna
I'm
be
down with
fun.
that. But yeah, it's gonna be a good one. I'm ready for Godzilla. That's one that I'm looking for.
I'm
And
waiting for
Pokemon.
John Wick 3. Parabellum.
Oh shit, that comes out next week, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
Pokemon.
no, 17th.
The 17th. Okay, so tickets are on sale.
John
for that.
Wick, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's who they really needed. Avengers should have just hired John Wick. But
I have
thank
a
y'all for
picture.
tuning
I have
in.
a picture of Keanu Reeves in an Avengers suit.
That would be dope.
Because
thank y'all
Thanos
for
killed off all the dogs,
tuning
half the
in.
dogs.
Howard, can you shut your mouth so I can
No,
sign
Marcus.
us out?
No, Marcus. No, Marcus. Thank you guys for tuning in to Intermission. Catch us again next week at 6:30. Holla.
Peace.